Anatomy of the river. So where the river starts, there's the source, and wherever it is taking the water from it, where the water is running towards the river, that is the drainage basin. If at one point, the confluence point, another river comes into it, that is then a tributary river, which comes there at the point of confluence to it, and it flows then on, and at the mouth of the river, it comes then into the sea or ocean. And that is according to geography by Jade Ferretti and Brian Gressley on the page 50. The positions and views expressed are the ones of the source and not necessarily aligned with my own or with the ones of the entities spoken.
Hi and welcome. I'm trying to learn Potamology today, the drainage basin of the river. And after we've done that, we're gonna do squat training. And if you participate in the squat training, then it's that the drainage basin. The drainage basin is the area of land drained by a river and its tributaries. Okay. There's a valley or a region which is lower than the other one, and the water is flowing to it and accumulates there and forms then a river and flows further onto a place where the water is lower. And now it is draining the area, that place where the water is going to it. And that is now the drainage area of that river, or the river and its tributary rivers. Large rivers such as the Nile or Mississippi have vast drainage basins. The Nile and the Mississippi River have vast drainage basins. The boundary of a drainage basin is called the watershed. Okay, it's called watershed. So there is a mountain, a valley, and another valley. And in that place, the water is no longer going over to one river, but to the other river. That is the watershed, if I get it correctly. This is usually a range or hill over mountains, but it can be very little in the water. It doesn't have to be 1,000 meters high. Technically, just the place where it goes to the other side. Rain falling beyond the watershed will flow into another river and is part of another drainage basin. What is evaporated water called, which is not forming driplets but also going over to another side? Now, there's on one side of a mountain a plant, which is, we have it in the last part in hydrology, a plant making transpiration, letting some water up, which is taken into the air. The wind is blowing it out of the outside, where a big plant is standing, and the water is catched directly before it can form even droplets or can go down, and is then on the other side and goes to the other side of the river. It would be precipitation probably, but it wouldn't be rain. What would it be? A drainage basin can also be represented in a systems diagram, such as the one below. Okay. This shows how water is held in stores and how it is transferred between stores. Okay, so there's water, and sometimes the water goes from one place to another one. First, the top here. Source of a river, confluence point, tributaries, mouth of a river. It's actually called mouth of a river. Okay, sea and the drainage basin. Okay, the whole thing is the drainage basin. Okay, so here is the ocean, the sea, or whatever. Where the water flowing to, and there's the big river, and the point where a tributary river, so another river, flows into another river, that is the point of confluence. And these rivers flowing into bigger ones are the tributaries rivers, the point where the meeting is confluence, and the source of the river, I think each of them has a source, is the point where it is starting. And the whole region wherever the water is taken from and flown to the big river. Okay, what is here going on? We're having clouds and condensation. So condensation leads to clouds. Evaporation had leads to condensation, which has led to clouds. Evaporation has come from the sea. The sea has filled on with surface runoffs of water flowing into it, with through flows of water going into the soil and going over, and groundwater flows of water just over here. And the groundwater flow store had come through percolation force, the downward movement of water through soil and rock. The water going down is called percolation. Percolation. What does the word mean? Okay, that had led to groundwater store. Infiltration of water has just come in. That had led to soil store, leading to through flow or deeper down percolation to groundwater store, to groundwater flow to the sea. Surface water, these are rivers, lakes, and glaciers. They have come through precipitation, so every form of rain, snow, hail, what is it? Hail down. Interception. What was it? It can be sometimes stored somewhere in trees or plants. Now we're saying trees and plants. Interception, when water collects on objects such as leaves or flat roofs. Infiltrate, interception, when water collects on objects such as leaves or flat roofs. Now the way we're saying it there, it sounds like just water is standing there. The way we're using it now here, vegetation, store, trees and plants, that sounds more like a tree has gotten the water into it. It is not just landing on the leaf and staying there or on a roof. It is where the tree takes it in it. Okay, it is intercepted through a tree or something, or just standing somewhere around, both is possible. In the vegetation store, then let on for transpiration to the surface rivers, into rivers and lakes, or for transpiration into the air. Did we say that somewhere? Yes, evapotranspiration can lead from the vegetation store directly into the clouds. Evapotranspiration, that is it is transpirating from the plants into the air, and for some reason it is then not directly evaporated, that is happening then. But we also get that it is more the same and call it evapotranspiration. Okay, key, the arrows show transfer of water and the dark blue, the boxes show stores of water. Okay, every time water is somewhere, it is standing there, that is stored, and if it's going from that place over to another place, that is then transfer. But is it important to say a river is not transfer? It is a store place. And is it actually possible, this is why I use that example, possible to say by river? Now I get what they mean. We're just going to learn them all and understand them all indiscriminately to which we're sorted. If you were here for Potamology, you can go directly to the next part of Potamology, where we will continue with Potamology and try to make a little presentation that doesn't make sense, but it's part of hydrology, how the water cycle is going. And we're saying the thing with the river, how the river is going, or something. If you're here for that, we're going to continue in some other part in Potamology or in hydrology. If you stay here and participate in the squat training, then certainly one leg up, point with the toes down, foot up and down. And circle the foot. Change. Other one up and point down. And foot up and down. And circle. And pause. And then take one leg at the ankle and tuck the tail on it. Change. And one leg to the side. The toe points in front and the strip. The toes are pointing in front and the stitching in assembly. And then over to the other side. And now go from side to side. And back into the middle. And now to the squats. Legs wide apart, and we're doing 12. Number 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. And now the 6-pack squat squeeze. Quarter squat and press against the top part of one leg. And then on the other side. Half squat and press in the middle of the leg. And on the other side. And 3/4 squat and press close to the knee. And on the other side. And up. And now the fastest giraffe of the water pond. The fastest giraffe of the water pond. 3/4 squat, press against the knee, and go towards it. Other side. Press, and towards it. Press, and towards it. And 2 more. And up. And the last exercise is the propeller. Full squat, arms to the side, out one leg, press against the leg. Middle over to the other side, press against the leg, move up. Middle and up. And one heel onto the ground, pull the toes in. Put to the left and pull in. To the right and pull in. Middle, and move from left to right. Other heel onto the ground, pull the toes in. foot to the right, pull in, left, middle, and move from left to right. Again, one leg up, and the other one. Take one at the ankle, change. And next two sides with the finger down. And out. In and close my legs. Very good. That was the squat training. I thank you very much and the next time.